Hello everybody, Suffolk Andy here. Didn't think I'd be able to get out today. We've had some terrible weather overnight. Everywhere's wet and soaking. As you can see, the roads are pretty wet. Not my favourite conditions, but the sun's come out, so hey, you know. Just done a couple of hours at work and thought I'd have half an hour. Anyway, before I go much further, can I just say thank you to my friend in Australia. I'm appreciating your comments. Thanks very much, mate. And I'll tell you what, I wouldn't like to have been riding in that rain you was in the other day on your blog. My God, that looked horrendous. I thought we had bad weather, but man, that takes the biscuit, I think. Anyway, I was watching a blog this morning. Oh, where are we going here? I'm going to try and get around the back of Alton Water. That was a freaking epic fail. Yes, I was watching a blog this morning from my son. Tactless Dribs is what he calls himself. And he's been blogging now for a couple of weeks. He does a lot of riding on a bike. He has to go quite a way to work every day. And he's getting there, he's doing well. Proud of you, son. But he was talking this morning about safety on motorbikes. And he done very well. He talked about, you know, friends of his trying to make him do this and do that. And there's Alton Water. We've been here before, just on this side, on the old Virago. I'm going to try and get round the back of that where there's a big dam, and I'll pull up there. Yeah, he was talking on safety issues this morning. I listened to him, and everything he said I could relate to. I thought, yeah, you got it right there, son. So I thought I'd just elaborate a little bit more. As an older biker, seen it, been there, had the t-shirt, read the book, watched the film, and I thought, right, responsibility on a bike is your responsibility. It's nobody else's. And you've also got responsibility for other road users. We all moan about car drivers and how bad they are, but we're in the same boat. We have to think about those people in cars. I know it's hard sometimes. This is lovely through here, but my God, look at the leaves on the ground and stuff. And this back tyre is a slipping. Way! Just on this old crap. Suffolk, eh? Love it. Anyway, yeah. Responsibility. Responsibility is your responsibility for yourself and for other road users. You've got to remember, if you've got no responsibility for yourself, you've got no responsibility for road users. And if you go out there and kill somebody because you're reckless on a bike or a car, it's your damn bloody fault. You know? We all know what these bikes are capable of doing. We all know what speeds they're capable of doing. We all know what they're like. And there's not one biker, even me, can't even sit on this bike or their bike and say they've never been reckless, because we all have. I have done some stupid things on bikes, mental, in the past. I try not to now, but even sometimes, you know, the lure of the old bloody roads, the lure of the old throttle takes over from your head, and it shouldn't be, but it still does. It still does me sometimes. But that responsibility, how I ride this bike or how you ride your bike, is on your shoulders. And remember, if you ride your bike like a nut and you kill somebody, could you live with that? Because I couldn't. It would be the death of me as well, I think. The remorse would be unbelievable. And you know, lots of accidents, we talk about accidents on bikes. Oh, bloody cars pulling out, or this or that or the other. But most bike accidents are caused by the biker getting it wrong, you know, getting these corners wrong and stuff. Speed, whoa, bloody roads, they're like ice. Oh my God, that back tyre just went, well, maybe a foot. What the hell's the matter with them? Anyway, that responsibility is yours. And most accidents are caused by rider error. And I hear people say, you know, bloody deserve it driving that bloody quick. You know, nobody deserves it. Nobody at all. We had a young lad, he was killed a few months back in Ipswich, and I heard people say, well, he deserved it, he was going too quick. He tried to take a corner at these sort of miles an hour, very high, got it wrong and got killed. He didn't deserve it. Nobody deserved it. So safety is your responsibility, and the responsibility that you have for other road users. Now some people say, well, let's go advanced riding. That will teach us. Well, I did read I did read in a magazine somewhere that the highest fatality, and I don't know if this is true, and I know somebody will come back to me and say, you've got that all wrong, Andy, but some of the highest fatalities in road users are police motorcyclists. And they're supposed to be the best in the country, so I'm told. You know, they go through all their advanced training and everything else. And a lot of the accidents with the police, not even to do with response times or anything like that, just generally being killed. So if you think about it, is this advanced riding the answer? Can't help. You know, it can't make things worse. It can only improve, I should imagine. And I've never done advanced riding in all the years I've been riding, you know. Never done it, never thought about it, never wanted to do it. Just rid a bike. Now, I think the only way you can actually get responsibility on a bike is to ride a bike. Learn. Put the miles in. You know, take your bike around, try it in all different, you know, situations. You know, like these old roads here today. This one's okay, it's just wet. You know, I've just been through a road there that was covered in leaves and crap, and my back wheel was going all over the place on the slippery, bloody, slimy stuff. You know, but I didn't go through there like a nutter, because if I had done, I'd have been on my arse or in a ditch. Bike smashed up, knackered. You know, so I had to go around there like Miss Bloody Daisy. But there again, I'm coming out here and I'm coming round here and I'm going to open waters and I'm safe. You know? And if some bugger came up behind me and tried to get me into a game, I'd just let him go. I don't need to. And my son said on his video, you know, some of the people he knows say, "Oh, Aaron, you're not wheeling. You're not thrashing down the road, you know, you're not in and out of traffic, you know." And why should he? Why should he do that? Just to show off? Because I tell you what, we've all seen the vids on YouTube. People wheeling down the road, and next thing their machine is going down the bloody road, you know, smashed up. Well, I tell you what, if I cracked this one up, throwing it down the road wheeling, I'd be sick as a friggin' parrot. Because I know it'd be a very expensive freaking game. And if I'd done it, and the insurance policy people found out, they wouldn't even pay me out. I couldn't say I slipped off my bike. If the police said, oh, he was wheeling down the road, you know, you lost a couple of $3,000. What's the friggin' point? Just to show off, to show how good you are? No, it's not on. And actually keeping up with your mates and your friends. I got a mate called Dan. Dan's as quick as a friggin' piece of shit off a bloody shovel. And he's a fantastic rider, and I used to go out with him, and we used to go out for miles. And I couldn't keep up with him round corners. He was going round corners on his bike. There was no tomorrow. The only way I could keep up with him was in the straights. His bike weren't quite so quick, so I used to catch up with him. You know? But he was safe. He wasn't overdoing it. Right, oh, here we come up. Look, here come up to Alton Water. This is a private road, by the way, but they let the public in. I'll go down to the dam. You can see all the ducks and stuff here. It must be a shit day because none of them are on the bloody water, look. So that is Alton Water. And that supplies all the water to like Ipswich and surrounding areas. There's the ducks. getting loads of them. Like, I think they all come here to sort of winter up, you know. I'll just pull round here. But this safety thing, you're going to have to, when you've got a bike, you've got to look at yourself. Ride within your limits. I'm going to tell you a little story what actually happened to me on a holiday up into Cumbria. Right, I'll just stand here and just show you Alton Water. It's very choppy. You can see the old wind boards are out. Look at that. They're getting a hell of a speed up. And that's the old dam. Like I said, I don't know if I said, but there is a village under here. I don't think any bells toll at night or anything like that from the church or anything like that. But this was a valley, and there was a little village which was flooded. Very controversial at the time. But now this has been here for many, many years. One that didn't make it. My God. Anyway, that's Alton Water. Holbrook School over there, the naval school that I went past the other day. That's the church tower. Yeah, I was going to tell you this story about what happened to me. About 6 years ago now, I went up to Cumbria, to the Lake District, with some mates, and wives and girlfriends, and we had one guy with us who didn't have a girlfriend, so he was singly on a bike, and I think he was on a 900 Kawasaki sport bike, a Ninja. I don't think I was on... No, I think I was on this one, yeah. I think I was riding this one. Anyway, we all went up to Cumbria, and we stayed in a beautiful farmhouse up there for the week and toured the Lake District. Well, it's notorious that the Lake District roads are probably the worst roads in Britain. They're so twisty and turny and whatever. It came apparent to me, after the first day of being up there, that some of the boys were racing each other to see who could go fastest around all the bends and that. And I said to one of the guys who was with us, I said, look, I'm getting fed up with this. I said, I've come up here to look at the scenery and poke about and that sort of stuff. And I said, all I'm doing is giving a handful for around all these roads like a friggin' nutter. So I'm not seeing anything, I'm just concentrating. I said, and I am now starting to get out of my comfort zone. You know, I got the wife on the back, you know, and the Mrs. P. And I thought, oh, this is crazy. So anyway, one night there, the girls cooked us a lovely big dinner, and we're all sitting around this huge great table. And I got up and I said, look, chaps, just want to tell you something. I said, look, I'm fed up. And they went, fed up, Andy, why? I went, well, I've come to Cumbria to look at the scenery, and all I'm doing is like I'm on MotoGP. And they looked at me, I said, look, all we've done is just race around these friggin' lanes and roads and hills and passes and stuff. So I ain't seen nothing. All I've done is freaking raced. I said, it's not a race. It's a holiday. And I said, if you carry on, one of you lot are going to go home in a box. I said, you're going to be killed. Dead. And they looked at me and went, yeah, you're right, Andy, ain't you? I said, there's no egos here. Who cares who's the fastest friggin' rider? Who cares who's the slowest? I don't mind. You know, I don't care if I've got somebody who rides really slow with me. I'll wait for them. And they all said, yeah, you're right, Andy. And after that, it all calmed down and we had a fantastic holiday. So you haven't got to be the fastest bloke in the pack. You ain't got to be, you know, a Rossi or a Crutchlow. You ain't got to be that at all. It's called safety. Oh, I tell you what, this wind is so windy today. These old ZRs, you know, the old Farons on them are like bloody sails. Push you all over the place. That is really bad. Anyway, safety. Now going back to this advanced riding. Now, I haven't ever done it. I've got mates who have, and they're fantastic riders. And I will say, the other day I went out with my mate Buster, who's gone right through the whole lot, right from start to finish, past his advanced about a month ago. And I went out with him, and we'd never been out before. We knew we were bikers, but we'd never been out before. We went out on a fun run, and we got there, and he said on the way back, he said, Andy, he said, just follow me, he said, and I'll take some of the lines that I've been shown or being taught in advanced riding. Okay, mate, I'll do that. Anyway, I have to admit, and it is an admission, I did watch him, and some of the lines were slightly different to mine. And I thought, well, I'll try them. And I did try a couple of 3 lines, and I learned. I did learn a little bit. After all these years, you can't say you're never too old to learn, and you're never too young to learn either, you know. Never think that some old boy on a bike is too old to tell you, sons and daughters and whatever, because they're not. Watch them. A lot of these old boys have been doing it for years, and if they, you know, if they'd have been reckless, they wouldn't still be on a bike, would they? They wouldn't still be riding that bike, you know. So experience helps. And so, you know, with this advanced riding, I've never done it, but I think there is something in there. But like I said about the police, who are supposed to be the best, some of the highest fatalities in this country are police from motorcycle riders, so I've been told. So I'm going to be heading back now to Ipswich. As you can see, the roads are pretty shit. They're full of bloody leaves and slippery bits. Coming through Holbrook again. I think I was out here the other day. It's only a small area right here, really. And just remember, boys, you don't have to keep up with your mates. When they get there, they'll wait. They'll wait. They'll wait for you. If they don't, they're not bloody mates, are they? Go and ride with somebody else who will wait for you. There's plenty of bikers out there who will. Join a club. Join a cycling, you know, a motorcycling club. There's one in Ipswich called a Triangle Club. I've joined it. Went out with them the other day. Had a lovely time. They do a system where nobody gets left. What it basically is, they have a leader at the front and a guy at the back. And the guy behind the leader, when they come to the first right proper corner, he stops and everybody goes past and he joins the back. And that's how it goes on, so you go down the line. And it worked. I loved it. I thought it's great. I haven't been able to go out with them just lately because of family commitments. But it works. Learn your craft that way. Go out with these people. You know, they're not all old farts. You know, the thing that I loved about it the other night, there was women. Several women bikers. I love it. I love to see women bikers. It's lovely to see. And some of them can bloody go, don't you worry, boys, you know. They ain't bloody slow and sluggish. So join these clubs, you know. Get into the community. It's like the other day, my son went out with some friends. That was a Triangle Fun Run. That was a charity do. There was hundreds of bikes there, and we went out to a pub, about a 50-mile run, all well organised. And when we got there was this lovely old quaint pub, big old pot roast burger thing there and whatever, hog roast, and there were some girls singing, you know, like a little group, and we were all in the gardens, beautiful day, it was lovely. I went and got myself 1 pint, my mate's got us a hog roast and whatever, and we sat down. I was talking to bikers, I don't know them, but we're talking to each other, you know, on the tables there and having a good time. And see my boy, I said, the next day, he said, Dad, he said, my mates turned up. He said they sat there for 10 minutes and went, this is friggin' boring. We're not friggin' racing, are we, sitting here? And they pissed off. He stayed. The hell is that? He stayed. Good on you, boy. You don't need to go off racing with them friggin' knobs. Because I tell you what, at the end of the day, you'll still be sitting on a bike at my age, enjoying it, instead of up that friggin' cemetery with them friggin' knobs. So anyway, folks, I'm going to shut up now for a bit. Just going to ride back into Ipswich. Loads to do today for Mrs. P. She's giving me a lift as long as my friggin' arm. Poor old girl's at work today, so got to do something. She just called me lazy. So they're coming down here towards the Orwell Bridge. I think you've seen this before. It is such a windy day. It's like I've got sails on this bike. Roads are now starting to dry up a little bit, so that helps. Got a nice little dry line now, so and they're not leaves on here. Anyway, everybody, it's my little rant today from Suffolk Andy.